Welcome back to the channel. I think this will just be a test, self-control. Can we just check it out, listen to it, and then go back, take a deep dive in the lyrics or whatever the song calls us to do? Or does it hit so hard in the ear holes that the pause button just gets overpowered and I have to pound on it nonstop because, wow, that's inspiring. So the possibilities are numerous. Have no idea what we're going to get. Uh-oh. Rollen could possibly wreck your favorite song. Keep that in mind. It has been a while. No lies there. But at the same time, I've been dealing with a bunch of stuff. Uh-oh. It all came to a head and then came together and got done. I think we're cool. I got about a week and I recover from the last month of, let's say, Rollen went hard. Spent down to zero, traveled here to Tampa Bay and back. And then it turned out the old man had the title all wrapped up in a weird old blanket. Now, I was given a couple hours to clean up the house. We got the new title and just got a new title. But let me tell you, what a fiasco a lot of it turned out to be. And that's why I didn't try to mix a lot of this and this. Hard for old Rollen to separate the two. Sorry, I'm getting a lot of use out of that one. I like it. I could never push play and just dick with that name all day. I mean, that's what I mean. I don't know. I just know that's fun. Ooh. Oh, that's nice. Now, I'm not gonna lie. For me, the first and foremost is like I want the walking through the door into the back corner of the nightclub scene with this music on it. I like movies a lot. I mean, a lot. If I had my choice, that's what I'd do. I would make movies. I'm pretty sure I see it up here, but I can't afford to pay the people to make that happen. Point is I really like that is just some cool walking into a room music to me. Now, I think the simple truth is it depends on what, you're inspired by to where that type groove might take you. I worry about those who just hear some music.
Woods in a ball of tangled up tigers, opposite balsa wood gliders, inaugural flights in a fire. The tallest kid in the classroom, his organs fished from a baboon. His aura emanate pleasant, if Megadeth in a vacuum. Ashen Elena Tzatziki, tech and concrete on the telly. Elderberries from the plug-in, fill the mug with Martinelli's. My hammer shaped the kukri, good for several major doozies. When I get that metal singing, it's the ghost of baby Huey, ooh.
A couple hours slept, there's just a couple hours left. There's pork all in your sour patch, don't choose a die a coward's death. For all we know, we only get a couple hundred chances. Don't waste a human vessel making sexual advances. How you ain't want no trouble but the muzzle warm. People used to hustle crack, thankfully they puzzle more. Me, I'm getting started on a 750 piece. Back watching the Knicks, just blew the budget on some nifty seats.
Graduated remedial cloak and dagger to the peacefulness of black SUV in a holding pattern with two canines in the back and room for tray tied to the rack and tinted windows that open our eye holes in a paper bag. Only agree if obscured and through the voice changer to let some strangers sit and interview the toy maker taker. Take a toy into the black light, let them toil in us stalagmites, get them casually vanished. It's the coinage of the magi.
Everything he touches turns to gold, except for stuff that turns to ashes. Lest you try, you'll never know. What's the buying for the scientist denying there's a soul? Look outside and there's a scholar. Look inside and there's a troll. The one who holds the whips, who gets it cracking. There's not too much concern for stuff that actually happened. The risk is on the buyer, not the seller. If you find you're in a fix, just go remix the acapella. Yep.
It's a twister, take the house and all related chicken timber. Witches whizzing by you wailing, hey, don't you know how to whisper? You don't, and it's not making me stronger, it's fucking killing me. Love is the answer, in lieu of love, release the wildebeest. That's one you can't really explain to friends and family. In the growing shadows of a rapidly approaching stampede, how we offered other options, but you went ahead and chose this. That let the hate flow through you, really do one on your focus.
In school, I never got detention. I left teachers way too traumatized to take another second. It's not that I was naughty, I just asked too many questions. Like what took so.
I'll give him one, and then we'll go back, of course. Not tomorrow, today.
That's
a good lie. That's it. I just asked too many questions. I didn't, right? It's a different level of difficult.
Hate flow through you, really do one on your focus.
In school, I never got detention. I left teachers way too traumatized to take another second. It's not that I was naughty, I just asked too many questions. Like what took so long to change it to commanders from the Redskins. I admit that I already knew the answers, just was furious. Cafeteria food was causing cancer. I ain't skip no grades to get left back. Anyway, I'm called Sand. People love to talk smack.
Damn, that was cool. That is. Yes, that was a much longer break than you probably realized. Yeah, that was a couple things changed. You're not crazy. I just, I'm waiting on a call for a job. It turns out I spaced off when the 2nd of April was. Hey, it's today. And I'm looking about 1:30. I should, if I don't hear from them, they change their mind, but that don't matter. But I've been gone, I don't know, 40 minutes or something. It's been a while. It was cool. And what we do have time to do is look at the lyrics down below here and go around one more time, because I would have stopped right at the get-go. I mean, this is great. Just actually makes me I feel like some almost 70s-esque cartoon with just some slinky, jazzy, funky type Crumb if he wasn't as weird as he was, kind of thing. It turns out there's some problematic stuff back in the day, but then by the end of the song, we'll address one of those problematic things, and shit changes. It just does. But in my head, I definitely see. I can't think of the artist, and it's well, sort of that Fritz the Cat type thing. Real edgy, jazzy, crazy. That's what I get a feel for here with this music. No, I don't think that's what they intended at all.
Into the woods in a ball of tangled up tigers, opposite balsa wood gliders.
It was that right there. I mean, that I would have stopped right there, because opposite the balsa wood gliders. inaugural flights into fire. I mean, that's, you get ball of tangled up tigers seems really dangerous. The balsa wood gliders, not so much, especially if they're gonna fly right into the fire. It's that's like the coolest way to send in kindling. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I'm assuming no, I don't know. I shouldn't assume. My opinion is I would start listening for a back and forth, the contradictions, the I'm this but that. It's this but could be that. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Inaugural flights in a fire, the tallest kid in the classroom, his organs fished from a baboon, his aura emanate pleasant, if Megadeth in a vacuum.
That's funny. Wasn't there a Christian Slater movie with they got like a baboon heart or something? It's been a long time since I see it. Is that Marissa Tomei? I can't remember. Interesting. Yeah, so here it all fell apart, but I didn't. Great. Tallest kid in the classroom, his organs fished from a baboon. His aura emanates pleasant, if Megadeth in a vacuum. But not, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. As an L in the Tatsuziki, and here we got, here, I didn't check on concrete on the elderberries from the plug-in. Now, is that a smell? A mug full of Martinelli's, but I don't know what that is. I'm gonna go with maybe, I don't know, a drink. I think I'm safe there. My hammer shapes the kakuri, which I am good for several major dozies. When I get that metal singing, it's the ghost of baby Huey. Oh, yeah. So to be a no. There's a few things that no clue. So I would just, enjoy it for what it is, because it went all right over my head.
I fired the tallest kid in the classroom, his organs fished from a baboon, his aura emanate pleasant, if Megadeth in a vacuum. Ashen Elena Tzatziki, tech and concrete on the telly. Elderberries from the plug-in, fill the mug with Martinelli's. My hammer shaped the kukri, good for several major doozies. When I get that metal singing, it's the ghost of baby Huey. Ooh.
A couple hours slept, there's just a couple hours left. There's pork all in your sour patch, don't choose to die a coward's death. For all we know, we only get a couple hundred chances. Don't waste a human vessel making sexual advances.
Now, I like that line. I thought that was good. Now, don't get me wrong. I think it's a interesting bar. I mean, if you don't make any sort of advances ever, it'd be hard to pair bond and produce offspring. Now, at the same time, there's levels to that shit. So I'm assuming we're not talking about Billy worked hard to get a paper route so he could earn a few bucks to ask Susie out on a date with the slight chance of making out. No, I think they went straight for their Marilyn Monroe bot. And, don't date robots. But I don't know. I hear this line and I'm like, hey, don't waste the human vessel on a fleshlight. Right? If you have a device that plugs into an app that plugs into your crotch, you need to get out and touch some grass. This has been a public service announcement from Reactions, Rants, and Rabbit Holes. Rollen Green saying, be careful with your sex toys. You get lost in there.
You ain't want no trouble but the muzzle warm. People used to hustle crack, thankfully they puzzle more. Me, I'm getting started on a 750 piece. Back watching the Knicks, just blew the budget on some nifty seats.
And then to be honest, I didn't understand that line. I think there's got to be some levels of the decipher there, if you will, because unless it's that back and forth and uh, that 750 piece, I just piece work. There's certain words from my time. I said it before. I'll say it again. I hooked up with a chick in treatment. And it turns out when you go to treatment and you meet a crazy chick, 17 of 18 kids, cooking for the cousins, and she's like, hey, we should just bang in the bathroom at treatment. I should have just banged her in the bathroom at treatment. All them horrible sexual advances aside, they were on her. But no, I hooked up with Tisa, and 3 years later, I stopped smoking crack. So I hear certain things that I'm like, it just gets me. Unfortunately, not triggered like I ever would want to. I got too many years under my belt now. But I do understand why certain individuals get trapped and never get out. The appeal is from turning a profit to think you seeing profits. There was an appeal over there that unfortunately some people can't escape. I am not positive. I am basically eluded by the cipher on this one. Not sure what's going on. Don't understand it, but it's a hell of a good song. So, I mean, it's a win-win still.
Graduated remedial cloak and dagger to the peacefulness of black SUV in a holding pattern with two canines in the back and room for prey tied to the rack.
Well, and then there's that thing. That's why maybe I'm confused, because maybe it is a back and forth and he's just being smart on the people. Used to hustle crack. Thankfully, they puzzle more, which, I don't. Ironically enough, that I don't know what levels are to there. For me and the drug world, there's some weird levels to that. I'm thinking puzzle is used as a positive. You gotta understand, I got the lyrics underneath this, so sorry. I'm getting started on a 750 piece. That's like, it seemed like this is that back and forth, like graduated remedial cloak and dagger. I used to be just a little in the shadows. And now I got the men in black trailing me with drug dogs. Tinted windows that open to the eye holes in a paper bag. And they're snatching people up. Now, that's a tough one. I've been swept away with the love affair, the Japanese American love affair over on X. And I think it's a microcosm of problems that the world has been going through for decades. And he said, I don't know if we're going to do this. And now, don't get me wrong, I'm not putting them on a pedestal. I went down the homelessness versus zero homelessness reported in Japan rabbit hole. Crazy. I learned about the people living at like the cubicle, internet cubicle, and they're basically living there. No pedestals, no praise. But it is interesting watching similar issues develop in multiple places, and then how it's all dealt with and stuff. And I'm just going to try to hold it to the end, because I heard a bar that I got to admit I want to address.
That open our eye holes in a paper bag.
That's cool.
Only agree if obscured through the voice changer to let some strangers sit and interview the toy maker taker. Take a toy into the black light, let them toil in us stalagmites, get them casually vanished. It's the
When this was, I thought the bars here were crazy, ending in the Magi. It's the coinage of the Magi. But I don't think whatever changed from the eye holes in a paper bag to only agree if obscured and through the voice change, it kind of lost me with the toy maker taker. Take a toy. Now, I do understand it appears to be some really interesting wordplay, But I'm still not that. I'm filtering it through personal experience in life. Yeah, never once have I claimed as this kick ass. Like I understand rhyme schemes and word usage. I mean, half the time I'm just hoping I understand most of the words, right? So just in case. But it does seem like that just the toy maker taker take a toy, that whole backwards forwards. I mean, I hear it in other places too, so I'm guessing it's a thing, even though I might not know uh, its official name. I've seen it used before. I think that's very cool. Do 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 do.
Image of the Magi.
Everything he touches turns to gold, except for stuff that turns to ashes. Lest you try, you'll never know. What's the buying for the scientist denying there's a soul? Look outside and there's a scholar. Look inside and there's a troll. The one who holds the whips, who gets it cracking. There's not too much concern for stuff that actually happened. The risk is on the buyer, not the seller. If you find you're in a fix, just go remix the acapella. Yep.
It's a twister, take the house and all related chicken timber, which is whizzing by you wailing. Hey, don't you know how to whisper? You don't.
You wanna? Here is some weird timing. I get distracted easily while I'm doing these things. Hell, I went to the beauty parlor in between one break. But Dury, I'm shit with names. Just from 7 minutes ago, it popped up on the phone, but it is literally from the burgers. This I know you can't read that. Whatever, it's fun fact. They have an older song, "Pizza and Burgers," and it goes like, "I want to eat pizza and burgers all day, but I'd get fat. How times change." And I just think it's funny that the timing and outside of the reaction, the universe has been serving up some timing to me that you wouldn't believe. You can just look at it as coincidence. That's the easiest path for people to take. Or a moment like this, because there's no plan, there's no schedule, there's no a rhyme or reason to it all. Well, there's a lot of reason and rhyme and a hell of a lot of good beats, but not with me. And the timing is odd. I mean, it's just this one's coincidental, but I've had some occurrences that the odds are stacked by the universe in a way that you're like, how did that pay off? You couldn't give me that once at Vegas, could you? Yeah, I'm kidding. I would never want that. I don't want my universe payoff there. I just read an article about a guy who won the lottery and then just got caught like robbing someplace for 12 grand because it already blew through it. Like, that's what I think of free shit. I think it corrupts the winner. I think if you wanted it, you'd get it. I think the things you really want, you actually manifest. But that's a whole nother thing. You'd have to go visit the Magi on that and learn a few, get a few tomes of occulted knowledge.
And it's not. It's a twister, take the house and all related chicken timber, which is whizzing by you wailing. Hey, don't you know how to whisper? You don't, and it's not making me stronger, it's fucking killing me. Love is the answer, in lieu of love, release the wildebeest. That's one you can't really explain to friends and family in the growing shadows of a rapidly approaching stampede. How we offered other options, but you went ahead and chose this. That let the hate flow through you, really do one on your focus.
Oh, that was
In school, I never got detention. I left teachers.
I actually think, and we're getting to where but that was solid. Really liked those. That's one you really can't explain to friends and family in the growing shadows of the rapidly approaching stampede. How we offer other options, but you went ahead and chose this. That let the hate flow through you. Really do one on you focus. Really do one on you focus. but the way it flowed, I guess, and seems like a powerful indictment. Maybe I'm not.
The approaching stampede, how we offered other options, but you went ahead and chose
really,
this.
it's
Don't
gotta
let
be.
the hate flow through you, really do one on your focus.
In school, I never got detention.
And then I don't know if it's can I taste the irony or not? Because is my final reflection on the song based on some sort of perceived hate? Because I understood the bar when I heard it, but then there's another whole side to it that, ironically enough, I saw. All right, it's the Commanders to Redskins line. I mean, I think you get to take your position on this. I think globally, there hasn't been a place that doesn't steep itself in blood and traditions of atrocity. So, that being said, I live today, and I went down this rabbit hole, and ironically enough, I saw the picture of the tribal leader that came in. I think it was New York. We're not here. We're here for this. Saying tinfoil hat Tuesday. I'm not going on a side quest. But I thought the whole idea was that was not even close to as offensive as those offended by it. That it was actually because it came from a real living person, it was actually an homage that stood the test of time. And instead of like groups that take words and own them for themselves, but then condemn all users, I was under the impression the whole idea had taken it way out of some sort of hatred ballpark and put it in a football stadium, and instead of despair and sadness spread by it, it's a sort of an homage. And then the rabbit hole says that there are certain indigenous individuals that feel that way, that this isn't me pulling this out my ass. This is that tribal people talking about it like, hey, that was a real person. The fuck does commanders mean? We understood the whole other concept. Now, don't get me wrong. If this is me living and steeping myself in the irony because I'm some fucking hater, then okay, so be it. I'm not going to lose sleep over that because I know what the facts are. But I will say perception to me is interesting, because I can look around on a global scale, and instead of cherry picking or choosing regions of the globe that trouble me, I can see a troubling trend of ignoring one set of atrocities to focus on another. And I'm curious when we're going to see humans as humans, timelines as factual history, and today as the here and now that you actually live in. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not hating. And if it comes off that way, I guess you really haven't paid attention the whole time. There's nothing in my lifeline and my choices that give me a free pass. If you think I'm just a bigoted ass, cool for you. But I think what took so long is that was one. Commanders to Redskins is that you went one step too far. The Land O'Lakes butter thing. And then you could just literally bob on my knob, because how can you do the Somali flag in the Land O'Lakes state, but the homage to the indigenous people on the butter is one step too far. That's the thing. Boy, did society sometimes pick and choose some of the cases that aren't good? And I would use this one as an example, but I got to get a smoke. Now I'm going to use an extreme example once again. I'm not here no more, and I think this is the extreme example on this subject I'm ranting on. It's the people who use the McDonald's coffee in the crotch lawsuit to condemn skyrocketing awards, money, skyrocket. They love going to that spot. And this is a straight rabbit hole. You could look this shit up. I can get a bunch of it wrong because it's been a while, but I am almost positive what the people who use it to condemn the side they hate don't seem to throw condemning McDonald's for offering her coffee for life after they destroyed part of her body with a malfunctioning, machine and what, third degree burns or something. My point is, it's always more nuanced than the rise it gets out of the cheap seats. And I take the Commanders Redskins line, going back to here, a little bit like that. I think it resonates with a lot of people, but I think a lot of the activist people would literally lock up their enemies and gas them right now. I think my opinion will get me arrested in a couple years. And that scares the fuck out of me. And then there's a whole bunch of people who side with that idea, who are literally just waiting for revenge. And then it's like, what, we're going to go full circle and we'll get ourselves inter-community conflict. And then we'll look in the mirror, we'll wonder how we got here. Because we were more offended about bullshit than we were legitimate atrocity. Or we cherry picked our moments in history for a political advantage or a hearts and minds advantage, but never for the victim ever, unless they're on your side. And when does the planet decide that the victims and the victimized are more important than the perpetrators? And then when do we move from perceived thought crimes to actual violence in the streets? Now, I think a lot of that has room for discussion. But first time through, that's what I thought of, because I actually think the cafeteria food was causing cancer is a much bigger issue. And I don't know if that's what's being said in the bars. Like what took so long to change the Commanders from the Redskins? I admit that I already knew the answer, just was furious cafeteria food was causing cancer. I ain't skip no grades or get left back. Always, I'm called Sand. People love to talk smack. And see, I'm not sure where that resonates in the writer, and I'm not fishing for an answer. Because the truth of the matter is, it comes across as kind of the whole thing. There's false placed outrage, and then there is an acceptance of things. What is it, the glyphosate debate or something right now? And hey, it looks like we always get screwed from both sides because the people who want to poison you keep winning. Then they give us up some bullshit or some food coloring or some other stuff, which is good to take that out. But then they double down by throwing some other bullshit like, no, that's going to be good. What was it? Our farming infrastructure is so tied to the use of chemicals that, whoops, fuck it, we're fucked. Got to keep going with that. Can't regulate that out of society. But I'm supposed to get jacked about going up to the moon again. You gonna plant some fucking non-GM corn up there? Hey, can you grow some non-poisonous crops up there? Fuck off. Who cares? Who gives a fuck? The problem is, I agree with the idea that the entire thing is bending us over. Bending us over in a way that, as long as you stay distracted, as long as you don't pay attention, it's okay. There's something to consume, there's something to be outraged about. Until we look at the side, at the top, only the section that wants to enslave other people, that wants to dominate other people, that wants to make profit off other people. Because I know there's creators, there are creators and producers of value. But they always get fucked over for the profits, and it's frustrating. Frustrating. Uh-oh. Society's got the cards stacked against you. They're playing with loaded dice. Pick your fucking metaphor.
Teacher's way too traumatized to take another second. It's not that I was naughty, I just asked too many questions. Like what took so long to change it to commanders from the Redskins. I admit that I already knew the answers, just was furious cafeteria food was causing cancer. I ain't skip no grades to get left back. Anyway, I'm called Sand. People love to talk smack.
And that's, I hopefully in the end it isn't a double downing on coincidence and irony and timing, and I'm just being some sort of dick. I don't think so. I think there is a nuanced discussion to be had in faux outrage and true problematic nature of existence. I just think there is. Well, I guess that was twice as good because the 40 minutes, we were on pause for my whatever weird break I took. Aesop and Homeboy Sandman are Lice. I don't have lice, they just are Lice. Uh-oh. That is not the most approachable band name. The music, on the other hand, is about as good as it gets. I didn't spend 40 minutes of your time because I think it's hollow and empty there. There's a lot of good shit going on in that one. What a cool track. I liked it. And, it'll start to snowball rolling down the hill. We'll get a couple more. It hasn't been coming across my feed. I finally found, I had to go to Rhyme Sayers to find them. Maybe because I'm supposed to do something different. I don't know. Sometimes the algorithm feels vindictive. But I don't know. It's where we got to work and live, so we'll deal with it. Later.